Hopefully it doesn't take eternity this time. Hopefully it doesn't make a fool out of me and go an hour and a half. As the day was coming to a close, I started feeling restless. A lot of time passed at school, chatting with Mion, Rika-chan, and Reina. Satoko's seat was empty again today. Just a lonely desk and chair where a person was meant to be. Despite all my effort, the situation hadn't changed at all. I murdered Satoko's uncle with my own hands, but even though he was permanently buried in the ground, Satoko still hadn't come back. Every day without Satoko felt like it would go on for an eternity. It was all meaningless. The weight of those words made me feel depressed. We did what we could to help a friend in need. We tried with all our might. But even so, our effort went unrewarded. On top of that, I felt disgusted with myself every moment that I began to doubt my friends.
ケイちゃん、浮かない顔してどうしたの？さあ、今日の部活は何しよっかね。
Mion cheerfully called out to me while rifling through the club locker. I wasn't interested in club activities without Satoko.
ミオン悪い。今日俺帰るわ。
あれあれケイちゃん、どうしたの？食べ過ぎ？それとも飲み過ぎ？それとも何過ぎ？
Wow, Mion, really? Are you going there?
何にも過ぎてねえよ。
As a matter of fact, that was my best attempt to dodge Mion's prying questions. Damn it! Normally I'd be able to turn Mion's lame jokes around on her easy. It's frustrating that I'm not thinking clearly as usual.
ケイチ君。
Reina quietly stood by my side carrying a bag. I immediately recognized what Reina was about to say.
ああ、そうそう。今日はレナの家に片付け物を手伝いに行くことになってんだよ。
うん、そうなの。レナの大事な可愛いものがとうとうお庭から溢れてきちゃってね。レナ一人じゃ片付けられないの。
Reina and I were completely in sync.
じゃあ仕方ないね。それじゃあおじさんは明日の部活メニューと罰ゲームでも考えておくかな。
After that surprisingly frank response, Mion walked back to her seat. Once Mion was sufficiently far away, Reina stealthily whispered into my ear.
ねえケイチ君、今日エンジェルモートに行ってみようよ。
ああ。
Reina must have had the same concern about Satoko. Shion never told us where Satoko went, and we still haven't seen her. I wasn't the only one feeling anxious about that.
しーちゃんにさとこちゃんの居場所をちゃんと聞かなくちゃ。やっぱりちゃんと話をしないと不安だよね。
Little bit? I nodded in agreement. Hopefully Shion will be able to tell us everything. Shion had no reason to hide anything, but something always seemed to come up whenever I tried asking about Satoko. On top of that, Uishi and the police were getting suspicious. I remembered how lost and confused I felt when I met him at the library yesterday. It made me terrified. I definitely can't lower my guard around him. That's what my heart was telling me. If he was trying to confirm our alibis, there was a good chance he suspected something. I can't allow him to go any further. Absolutely not.
ケイチ、顔が怖いのです。
ああ
I was surprised by a sudden voice from behind my back. When I looked back, Rika-chan was smiling at me and saying, Nipa.
脅かすつもりはなかったのです。ごめんなさいなのです。それよりもケイチ、ちょっと来てほしいのです。
Oh crap. Rika-chan looked up at me with her huge, adorable eyes.
はう、レナもそんな風にリカちゃんに見つめられたいな。レナはちょっと待っていてほしいのです。すぐに戻ってくるのですよ。
I hope we will. Intact? Rika-chan pleasantly smiled as she said that to Reina, then she glanced back at me to coax me out of the classroom.
なんだろうリカちゃん。じゃあ レナはここで待ってるね。
ああ、すぐ戻ってくると思う。
I followed Rika-chan out of the classroom. She'd been staring at me for a while now with a cautious expression, never smiling. I chased after Rika-chan from behind, feeling like I was walking into a foe's lair, unarmed. Good feeling! Keep that up! We moved to a shady spot behind the school building. If this school was a bit less wholesome, this would be the ideal location for seniors to harass their underclassmen. In other words, I simply couldn't feel comfortable in a place like this. Chie-sensei's curry vegetable garden was planted back here. Can vegetables grown in a place like this actually taste good? I was filled with the urge to get out of here right away. Why did I come to a place like this? What was Rika-chan thinking? The innocent smile Rika-chan was wearing earlier had completely vanished. She was just staring at me with a harsh expression.
Rika-chan, 話って何？
この前、圭一に聞きましたね。
Rika-chan looked me straight in the eyes as she asked that. Yeah, whatever you do, don't hurt the vegetables. You don't need that weighing down on you too. I recalled the other day when Rika-chan tightly grabbed me by the wrist. Please tell me, where has Satoko gone? Her eyes were full of tears as she solemnly asked that. I felt a little relieved. If she was asking about Satoko, that meant she didn't know anything about me. I'd like to know that too, Rika-chan. I'm about to go ask Shion that very question. However, Rika-chan followed that up with a comment strong enough to break my heart.
圭一たちがやってはならないことをやったのは、この際、どうでもいいのです。
I froze. All the blood in my body ran cold. All the thoughts running through my mind had become meaningless. My ability to keep my opponent at a safe distance and to launch a counterattack were completely denied to me right from the beginning of this interaction. A shock ran through my whole body like I was shot with a cannon. Something that shouldn't have been done. That means Rika-chan knows what I did? Kiichi and the others? How? How does she know? How was she aware that multiple people were involved? My throat dried up and my tongue became tangled. I couldn't say anything. Is this Rika-chan's attempt at threatening me?
圭一、教えてください。聡子はどこにいるのですか？
My lips, my throat, and even my heart trembled. I started convulsing. I lost my voice. Despite how hard I was breathing, only a light breath escaped me. Yeah, it don't take any more than a drop or else you will die. Alcohol poisoning is a very real threat. I couldn't understand. I worried that I wouldn't be able to help Satoko. For all the words swirling about in my mind, none of them could reach my lips. My entire body was swallowed by unimaginable terror. What should I say? What shouldn't I say? Should I trust her or not? Rika-chan, who are you really?
圭一、しっかりしてくださいなのです。僕の話をちゃんと聞いてください。
Rika-chan grabbed me by the hand and shook it. My body swayed about at Rika-chan's mercy.
圭一がしたことは聡子のためだったのでしょう？僕にだってそんなことは分かっているのです。
How can she understand? Rika-chan, how do you know? What do you know, and how much do you know? Even though I wanted to ask, I just couldn't do it. If I ask any leading questions, I'll be digging my own grave.
やってはならないことを圭一たちがやってしまったことはこの際問題じゃないのです。でも聡子は早く聡子を連れ戻さないと。
The look in Rika-chan's eyes told me that she knew everything. It looked like a universe was being born in her big black pupils, as though I could see the entire world in those deep, dark eyes. It was a rather mature expression, the likes of which I never would have imagined coming from Rika-chan. Rika-chan, I guess I did something that can never be taken back. Feelings welled up inside me, wanting to ask her.
圭一のことは問題じゃないのです。サトコを早く連れ戻してください。さもないと。
サトコを連れ戻さないとどうなるんだ。
I finally peeled away the skin clogging my throat. Symbolism! To utter a few words. But Rika-chan came back with an aggressively strong answer.
サトコ死にます。
I felt the pain of being stabbed in the heart. Why?
どういうことだ。
I somehow managed to ask that question while losing my voice, but Rika-chan didn't answer.
これだけ言ってもそういうのなら本当に圭一は知らないのね。まさかこんな展開なんて。
I mean, it's kind of obvious that Satoko is the second missing person right now. I mean, that seems kind of obvious to me. In the end, she said that in a pathetic voice devoid of sorrow or compassion. Hold on. Is something outrageous going on? Is our peaceful, everyday, ideal future getting closer to an impossible fantasy? My unease about the future was growing stronger and stronger. Once I recognized how irrational I was acting, I started to calm down.
リカちゃん、サトコの居場所はシオンが知ってるはずなんだ。
My voice was unexpectedly calm. Rika-chan was sincerely concerned about Satoko. Hearing her sad voice a moment ago convinced me that she had no intention of deceiving me to gain information. In that case, we should let Rika-chan help us search for Satoko.
レナとこれからエンジェルモートに行くんだ。シオンに話を聞きに。リカちゃんも来るか。
And there's the tell her to come with you bit.
わかりました。
Rika-chan responded with a powerful nod. Then Rika-chan and I returned to Reina. Naturally, Rika-chan's presence made Reina extremely cautious. But her expression completely changed when she learned Rika-chan was simply concerned about Satoko. So the three of us headed to Angel Mort together.
Yasumi?
My hysterical voice caused a few customers to turn back.
せっかく来てくれたのにすまないな。シオンちゃんは今日はシフトに入ってないんだよ。昨日も来てないし。
The store manager behind the cash register apologized to us. This man was apparently Shion's uncle. Hey, wait. She didn't come yesterday. That can't be true. Shion said she was heading to work as soon as she left the library yesterday.
次はいつ出勤なんですか。
圭一くん、
Reina tugged at my sleeve.
次の出勤なんてそんな悠長なことを言ってる場合じゃないよ。
Reina turned toward the store manager.
店長さん、急な用事があってしーちゃんの家に行きたいんですけど、お家を教えてもらえないでしょうか。
急な用事？
The store manager furrowed his brow, but I pushed him as well.
シオンに頼まれ事をしているんですけど、ちょっとわからないことがあって。
In desperation, I concocted a story that we didn't know the details.
シオンちゃんに住所は誰にも教えるなって言われてたからな。いくらお友達でもどうしたものか。
This uncle is dumb. Dumb, dumb, dumb. If they were her friends, I don't think they'd be asking for her address. I mean, granted, him being dumb works in our favor. Nevertheless, the store manager wouldn't agree with us. But we can't turn back now. A person's life is at stake.
どうしても 今日じゃないとダメなんです。
会って直接話をしたいんです。
お願いなのです。
Rika-chan deeply bowed her head while desperately pleading to him. When the store manager saw that, he seemed to relent. He let out an exasperated sigh.
わかった。私から教えたことは内緒で頼むよ。
Yeah, the manager's never seen these kids. These kids come in not realizing that Shion hasn't been to work in a few days. They're obviously her bestest friends ever.
はい。
The store manager went back to his office. Then a short while later, he came back and handed me a memo containing Shion's address.
ありがとうございます。ありがとうなのです。
このご恩は一生忘れません。
そんな大げさな。
The store manager scratched his head in embarrassment. By the time the store manager looked up, we were already gone. Practically in Shishibone City. We traveled on foot while looking at the map and comparing it to the note. Eventually, we reached a classy high-rise apartment on the outskirts of Okonomiya. The imposing entryway made it clear this facility was only meant for wealthy people.
やっぱそのザキ家ってのは金持ちなんだな。
I took a look around. It seemed fitting for Shion to live in such a fancy apartment. Naturally, the Sonozaki family had the financial strength and power to match this place, but beyond that, I felt like the atmosphere of this bustling apartment seemed to strangely mesh with Shion's personality. However, there were no signs of any people near the apartment, and there were no children playing nearby. None of the residents had any laundry hanging from the veranda. It seemed like most of the apartments were empty. The whole area felt cold. I suddenly felt like I had no right to stand here, even if this place was part of Shion's everyday life. It says Sonozaki. This must be where Shion lives. I took a deep breath and reached for the buzzer at the front door. The door suddenly swung open and smacked me in the forehead. An unfamiliar man looked down at me, a man with an imposing presence wearing dark clothes and sunglasses. At a quick glance, I could tell this wasn't a man with a reputable occupation. I needed to be careful.
失礼。人がいるとは思わなかったもん。
That is a vastly different look for him. I mean, yeah, suit, tie, and all that, but dear God, the head is completely differently shaped. Wow. At least to me, that looks way different. He's not nearly as square-shouldered as he was previously. And yeah, you probably could balance a few glasses of water on his head. The man politely lowered his head. Then, as the stranger began to walk away, Reina noticed him checking the Sonozaki mailbox and decided to call out to him.
しーちゃんのお家はここですか?
Reina asked that timidly.
そうですが、園崎シオンに何か。
How is this man related to Shion? No way, could this be Shion's boyfriend? Certainly didn't look like it.
シオンはいますか?
Rika-chan asked the man a question without hesitation.
いや、シオンさんはまだ帰っていません。
どこへ行ったのですか?
さあ、私には分かりかねます。急ぎますので、失礼ですがこれで。
The man casually said that and quickly started walking away from the apartment complex.
シオンさんのこと待たせてもらってもいいですか?
ご自由に。
Who is this man? He's close enough to Shion that he can answer questions about her without hesitation. Could he be Shion's father? Either way, he seemed to have ties to the underworld. He was a dangerous man.
ともかくここでしーちゃんを待ってみようよ。学校からまだ帰ってきてないのかも。仕方ないのです。
Reina and Rika-chan decided to take a seat in front of the entrance. The door was locked, so he couldn't get to the elevator unless a resident unlocked it for us.
ケイチ、お菓子がありますよ。
Rika-chan pulled a chocolate out of her bag. To be honest, I was in no mood to eat something sweet.
ああ、いただくよ。
I made up my mind to decide to sit next to them. I wonder how long we've been waiting. The sky was getting dark. Suddenly, I heard footsteps approaching and immediately raised my head. When everyone noticed my reaction, we all stood up at once. Who is it? Maybe Shion's finally here. How should I act when I see Shion? First thing I needed to ask was where she went, since she clearly wasn't going to her part-time job. Yeah. And also, about Satoko's whereabouts. At this point, we couldn't let her keep delaying the answer. We needed to hear it directly. I held my breath as I looked in that direction. However, the hope that Shion was heading home immediately washed away. That person looks far too big to be Shion. Maybe the man from earlier is coming back? But we were quickly disappointed we could make out the man's silhouette and hear his voice.
おやこんなところでお揃いですか
That voice. A chill ran through my entire body. I need to stay away from this guy. He's an enemy. He's our enemy.
また会いましたね前原さん
もう帰ろうと思っていたところでした。
圭一くん
Reina quickly chased after me. Rika-chan also started walking away while wiping the dust off her skirts.
探してたんですよ前原さん竜宮さんおやおや今日は新しいメンバーが加わりましたねフルでのご当主様が何のご用ですか
We meet again, Mr. Bond. His voice disgusted me. I wanted to get out of here right away. Acting like a know-it-all, like a savage beast slowly killing the small animals in his path.
帰ろう、リカちゃん。
I grabbed Rika-chan by the hand and started walking fast. Oishi made no effort to stop us, but he kept slowly walking in our direction.
シオンさん帰ってきてないんですよねどこに行っちゃったんでしょうね
さあ、買い物か何かじゃないですか。
Yeah, we can... Well, I don't know. What are Japan's laws? I know in the U.S. that legally we can walk away at any time unless he actually makes a move to arrest us, at which point we start asking for lawyers. I was a bit underdressed to handle this wind, but I ignored it and kept walking. However...
それがおかしいんですずっと帰ってきてないんですよずっと祭りの晩からね
Since the night of the festival? My feet came to a halt. I couldn't bring myself to take another step. My legs wouldn't move, like they were frozen solid. What was he talking about? Didn't we all meet Shion at the library yesterday?
そうでしょうおかしいんですよ祭りの日にはバイトをしていて翌日には図書館で顔を合わせているそれなのに家には帰ってこないこれ一体どういうことでしょうね
Crap, is Mion taking her place now?
嘘だろ。
Did we hit that point? Reina and I exchanged glances.
昨日確かにあったんです。あなたも見たじゃないですか。何かの間違いじゃないんですか。
間違いならいいんですけどね駐輪場にあるスクーターご覧になりました
Yeah, one of those two. Are we doing the switcheroo again? Is that what we're going through here?
スクーター？
Oishi had a nasty, arrogant smile on his face. Then he slowly continued.
シオンさんどこへ行くにもスクーターで出かけていたじゃないですか例えばおとといひなみ沢に行った時とかね
So, If they switched places, where was Satoko during the festival? The paralysis binding my entire body grew even stronger. Shion took Satoko and brought her here, no doubt about it. But wait, how did Uishi know that Shion went to Hinamizawa the day before yesterday? Did Uishi already verify that Shion came back here on her scooter? Does this guy know everything? Impossible. That's ridiculous. How? All the blood in my body ran cold. If I panic here, I'll just be playing into his hands. Calm down, Keiichi Maebara. I snuck a quick glance at Reina and Rika-chan. They were both nonchalantly staring at Uishi. These were our club members after all. They've had plenty of opportunities to perfect their poker faces.
おととい、しーちゃんはひなみ沢に行ったんですか?
Reina calmly struck back.
私もわかりませんよ。例えばの話です。でもですね、私はさっき重大な事実に気づきました。そのスクーター、私の勘違いだったんです。
勘違い?
I realized all too late that I was biting at Uishi's bait. I let the panic show on my face.
ほほう、前原さん、私の勘違いに興味あるみたいですね。
別にあなたが何を考えていようと俺たちには関係ありませんから。
I gave the strongest response I could muster. What kind of face am I making right now? Please, stay calm. Uishi seemed amused by something and let out a foo-foo-foo laugh.
聞かれなくても教えてあげちゃいます。
Oishi is Monokuma confirmed. Even if you hadn't asked, I would have told you, he says, huh? Interesting that.
そのスクーター、園崎シオンのものじゃありませんでした。同じ型番ですが、ナンバーが他県のものでした。この意味、わかります？
全然わかりません。
I was so confused. Oishi was mocking me, no doubt about that. However, when I calmly considered the information Oishi was telling me, it raised a lot of questions. Shion Sonozaki's scooter wasn't here. That meant Shion never rode her scooter back here. Which in turn meant that Shion never brought Satoko here. Didn't Shion say that her house was the safest place to hide Satoko? Then where did she go? Where did she take Satoko?
ひょっとしたら、さとこはもう手遅れかもしれないのです。
Rika-chan's voice trembled as she squeezed that out. Too late for what? Rika-chan, if you know something, tell me. What should I do? Where should we go to find Satoko and Shion? At any rate, there was no point staying here. That much was self-evident. It was time to stop playing around with Uishi.
失礼します。
I started walking again to get away from Uishi. Reina and Rika-chan followed my lead.
はい、どうも。私はもう少しここでシオンさんを待ってみますよ。
Oishi's nonchalant voice clung to me from behind. Shut up, you filthy old man. I couldn't hide my frustration. In the depths of my heart, I was cursing at Uishi while riding my bike back to Hinamizawa.
さとこちゃんの家、行ってみよう。
I simply nodded to Reina's suggestion. Besides, where else could we go? As I was worried about Satoko's whereabouts, somewhere in my heart I was concerned that Satoko might be in Shion's house. If she wasn't there, then the only other option was Satoko's house. And yet, didn't Rika-chan already tell us? There was nobody at the Hojo house. I had a bad feeling about this. Alarm bells were ringing inside my head. Don't go, Keiichi. You better not go to the Hojo house. There might be something there you're better off not seeing. Satoko, Shion, where have you gone? Thoughts of desperation hounded me as we headed towards Satoko's house. And that'll do it for this stream. It's a hell of a cliffhanger to leave everyone off on for a week. Ultimate, the SHSL level cliffhanger. So anyway, yep, that will do it for our little traipsing through Hinamizawa and Okonomiya for this week. We will return next weekend with potentially more Don't Starve, depending on what we talk about this week and decide on Saturday, and then more of this on Sunday. Maybe we will actually get to the bottom of it, and then we have 2 more things to go through in this. So yeah, we got a ways to go. So anyway, thank you all so much for joining me. Thanks for hanging out and chatting with me and watching me as I work my way through this bundle of confusion that calls itself a game. I will see you all back at least this weekend, and I may, because I do not have to work for like the next until 2 Wednesdays from now, essentially. Yeah, Christmas exists, and basically the factory I work at is in shut down for the next week and a half, basically. I may very well stream a few random streams throughout this week. Who knows? We will see. We will see. And if I do, hopefully they will be early enough in the afternoon that, you know, they won't interfere with popular people streaming. And people will have time to watch me. Who knows? We will see. We will see. No promises, but, you know, I may get a couple done. Anyway, take care, guys. I will see you all next weekend. Until then, I leave you with music.